Welcome to today's broadcast. No matter what kind of day you're having, please remember that God is big and God is good. He is bigger and better than you think. Sometimes we go through all the effort of pursuing our own agendas and end up with nothing, as happened to me. I had always dreamed of having my own business, and the dream turned into plans after visiting the Henry Ford Museum and Greenfield Village in Dearborn, Michigan. I was in my late 20s at the time, and to be around all the memorabilia of industrial giants such as Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Harvey Firestone just set my entrepreneurial imagination on fire. I never asked God what his plans were for my life. I didn't even believe in God at that time. I just knew that I wanted to have my own business. And since I'd spent the last few years working in the wood products industry, I decided to start a furniture factory. For over 20 years, I owned and operated a furniture factory. And as the business grew, the demands on my time grew as well. But having a wife and three small children does not mix well with the occasional all-nighters and the long hours. And in the middle of all this, I became radically born again. My life, however, didn't turn into a fairy tale. Now, as a Christian, I not only had the pressures of family and business, I then had a factory full of workers who suddenly became human beings to my newly thawed art. I did the best I could to balance everything. I really did. When I was at work, I didn't just tend to business. I spent as much time helping employees with personal problems as the typical pastor of a small church would spend with his congregation. People were born again in both my office and out on the factory floor. In spite of the demands on my time, however, I never missed an activity with my children. But when I was home, I wasn't really home. My mind was constantly dealing with all the issues that were messing up my plans. Oh, but I was living the American dream, and I was helping God at the same time. But then change was forced upon me. First, there was the divorce. Then, 6 months later, I had to put dozens of people out of work, close the factory, and liquidate the assets. So much for my plans. Don't be too quick, however, with the sympathy. Hear the word of the Lord instead. We read in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. His thoughts toward me did not end with my failures. His thoughts toward you will not end with your failures either. For more, please visit givemethatmountain.org and have a wonderful day.